Hey, this is Gary from Helm of Sun Valley Ski Shop in San Mateo, California, and we are out here on a beautiful March day on a ski tour to the Austrander Hut in Yosemite. Kind of got some spring conditions, but super nice. And I'm going to show you how to use a Dynafit binding. Dynafit bindings are known for being very light. They're becoming more popular. So here we go. Right now, this is in touring mode, with the brake is retained by the binding here. If I want to go into ski mode, I twist this so the pins are facing forward, and that releases the brake. And I want to make sure those are spread. And I can just drop it down in the snow. If they're not spread, I want to push this lever down, and that spreads the pins. So then, next we want to step into the pins, into the holes of the boot. This takes a little bit of practice. A lot of times you don't get it the first time. I like to get a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a shake to make sure that I'm absolutely in. I've heard of people that are in the Alps and have not, they thought they were in it, but they weren't actually in it, and the ski went flying off down into a crevasse, and that's really a bad thing when you're in the Alps, and you don't want that to happen. So next, I'm going to go into ski mode, and the pins are facing forward. Just step right in, boom, I'm ready to go into ski mode. I leave the lever exactly where it is. Now, to get out of this guy, I just push down on the lever with my pole, and just kind of take my heel and move it forward. And then I have to change the positioning of the heel back here. First thing I do is depress the brake, and then I can turn the heel so that this plastic plate depresses the brake for me there. So right now it's ready to go into ski mode. Touring mode, I'm sorry. Again, step down, make sure those pins are spread, look for the holes, give it a little bit of a shake. Now when I go into touring mode, I want to lift up on this lever here. And this pole actually has a little notch on it specifically for grabbing things just like that. Now in this position, it's for fairly low or flat terrain. My heel can go down far. If I want to go into a more steeper terrain, I can slip my pole into there. This takes a little bit of practice. Lift the heel up a little bit and rotate it around. And now my heel is a little bit higher for slightly steeper terrain. And if I want to go into even steeper terrain, put the pole in there, give it another twist, and now that's set for very steep terrain. So I'm going to go back into, and there's a couple different ways you can put your pole into this setup here. There's the slightly lower terrain, and going back into the flat terrain. Sometimes figuring out which hole to put your pole in can be difficult. So there we go, into flat terrain. Now to get out of this guy, my heel is up, my lever is up here. You can see my lever right there is up, and that locks it into place. When I'm in touring mode, I want that locked. It's very important to have that locked. Now to get out of it, usually it takes a little bit more pressure, so I'll just take a boot or a ski, push down like that, and if I push all the way down, it holds the pin out, and then I can just step out of the ski. And that's it. That's how you use Dynafit bindings. Really lightweight. A lot more people nowadays are going to Dynafit rather than Fritchie. They ski really well. They're very light, and the preconceived notion before was that they tended to premature release. They just weren't beefy enough for most big-time skiers, but in all actuality, they hold you in very well, even for most resort skiing for most people. All right, thanks.